This stupid black background has been here on the title screen in this game since like the very beginning, and I think it's finally time that I do something about that. Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games, and let us make some games. So, I've been, for whatever reason, and why I didn't just do this when I was doing level design a couple weeks, months, whatever ago, is just like, I have no idea. I probably just thought it was more important to, I don't know, do something else or whatever. But, it's finally time to go and take care of the background for title screen and background for other level types tasks in this game. I realized, like, a minute before I started recording this, that there was yet another duplicate card on this board, which you'd think that I would do that less often with how much time I spend on here, but whatever. So I got rid of the duplicate card. We're going to be dealing with these two cards here, and then because I don't think that'll take up an entire, like, 30-minute or whatever video, I'll go and see if I can just knock off some other items as well. A lot of these things shouldn't take too long. There's only one, like, well, I guess there's, yeah, there's only one, like, serious bug that I need to deal with. Guess I'll send that to board 2. Or board 3 or whatever. So, I've gone and finally put together a bunch of other, like, lists of Kenny 3D object files. Kenny's, like, nature kit things. And I kind of organized them into what I expect to be using in various levels. So we've got cactus lands, we've got like swamp lands, we've got like flower lands, and that's probably going to be about what I go for this time around. So I need to save these as just a whole wad of vertex buffers. And I can save this, for example, in a folder for cactus land related objects, and I can just dump everything in there, and then the game is just going to load everything out for that type of level. A bit of explanation, I suppose, is in order. Cactus short, cactus tall are some of the objects that I've collected for that, as well as just these like generic stones. I might include, you know, maybe I will do this, like generic like flower types. Do I have any other flower types? I actually don't know if I do. Aside from the ones that are already in, like, the woodlands, obviously, but maybe I'll include some of those, too. Yeah, woodlands, grasslands, cactus lands, maybe even swamplands. Generic video game fare. I'm not going to put too much thought into the theming of this. It's just to make things look a little bit more visually interesting than everything having the same background. If I was feeling ambitious, maybe every level would have a different background, but one never knows. A small note, this here, like, penguin-y thing that I've been using to just smash all my 3D objects together, for just, like, general purpose management. Since I started working on this game in March, I've added another export option, which is just vertex buffers, but in one single file. So that would be the vertex buffer collection option. And that would be kind of nice, because having a million files floating around a game's file system that are like 3 kilobytes just annoys me. But I don't want to go and like unengineer and re-engineer something that I already did, so not for this game. In future games, certainly. And I know a number of people have gotten use out of Penguin the way I have, which is good. So just a little reminder that that's there if you don't like dealing with a million 3D object files. So I can say meshes cactus lands, and I can load in that collection as well. Remind me, are you load vbuff? This does go and vertex freeze. All right, not that it really matters because these are tiny, but I just like to do that sometimes. And as for the levels that are going to get the cactus land meshes, I guess, like, scorpions are kind of a desert enemy. Cockroaches are sort of a wild card because they can be found on, like, every continent. I think including Antarctica. And I think I might try to loosely theme some of the other ones. So, let's see. I'm going to run the game. That was in debug mode. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. Game Maker debugger firewall thing. If you don't know why that does that, Game Maker, when the debugger talks to the game, it talks to it like over a local like 127.0.0.1 localhost like pseudo internet connection. The game crashed. Variable out of range. Why? This is probably going to come down to like me misspelling like the word cactus or something. Was a plural instead of a singular? It was a singular. Alright. This is why I don't like referencing things by strings. Although it's kind of hard to avoid when it comes to file names. Scorpion Rush. Okay, so we have an assload of rocks. Not all of that. Okay, hang on. I think there's a couple things I might want to do first. And that is that for all of these, some of these, like this here block, different materials are used in some of these 3D objects, and that's going to be something that I should probably... I can fuse all of them, right? Combine. Do I have to do it manually? Alright, something that I should probably do the next time I update this thing. It is not exactly friendly user experience that if you have a bunch of different meshes selected in this list, and any one of them only has one like submesh / material, then the combine button will be grayed out. I should probably make it not do that, but we can resave all those, we can rerun the game, and hopefully everything will be drawn with all of their polygons. Right now, yeah, alright. It looks like some of them are still a little odd. And I feel like that comes down to, like, the camera is, like, the tops of some of the obelisks and stuff are closer to the camera than the near Quilting plane, but that's alright. Most of them were fine. I might just want to get rid of the, like, the blocks. What's going on here? Statue block. What's your deal, huh? Alright, whatever. There's also the matter of this is a lot denser than it probably should be. You would think a desert land would be a little on the sparse side. And also the color of the background. 004000 is like a darkish green. And if I were to grab my old friend... I've always had a thing for, like, going to, I see you don't seem to have it, like the selection of W3S has a nice one, like the web safe colors. And there's no real reason for me to do that, other than that just, like, it restricts the palette, and I think that makes my life easier. But if I were to go with something like FFDD99 as the background color, and I'm also going to write in a little setting to control the density. Oh, because that is not the color literal. I don't remember if the color literal was a thing in GameMaker when I started doing this, but I'm gonna have to reverse the byte order and these, because screen is in the middle anyway. But yeah, at some point GameMaker added a pound sign for a color literal when you type out hex codes, and that's a little bit yellowish. Let me make it darker. FFD480 or FFCC66. FFD480. I don't think that's actually a web safe color. Like one of the original like 216 colors that you could sort of guarantee that would be displayed correctly on a web page in like 1993. I think that's okay. Maybe a little oranger. What was this one? CC66. And I think I'll leave it there, whatever this looks like. Alright, that's definitely on the orange side. Not sure what I was expecting. We're gonna go back to that and not touch it. Level metadata. I would like a, let's say, optional argument for, like, density. And that can be left at 1 or 100%. And this is just going to be a little multiplier on the number of things that spawn on each level. The cactus lands can have, for example, 0. maybe 40% the density of objects of the other things. And where is that read out when a level is entered? Room start. New level. Level background objects times level data.object density. Alright, that should have the number of objects spawned. Alright, it's as it was for the grasslands. Most of those are, in particular, small objects. You do not like that. Why do you not like that? Does that happen only if I leave a level and come back to a new one, or does that happen whenever I enter this one? It happens whenever I enter this one. Okay. That's a lot of fun. Game controller. Oh, the array has empty elements in it. Alright, so we're going to loop over the... before it was okay because the macro was the same as the size of the array anyway, but if I'm making this value smaller, or if I'm making this value something else, I want to loop over the size of the array instead. And... Scorpion Rush. Okay, I feel like this is very bright still. Can I make that darker? This is annoying me. Alright, first... let's just commit the changes to, like, the cactus land objects. And then let's commit the changes to... That's going to take a while because that's a bunch of binary files that need to be created. Then we can commit the changes to the density of level objects. And let's see what's going on with this color. Can I make it like this? FFD9B3? FFD9B3 for level 9. Is that going to look better? You know, kind of. There's a part of me that thinks the background objects should have outlines around them too now. But I like this better than what we had before anyway. That fire is very bright compared to the last one. Alright, whatever. Let's use that color. Cactus land background color. Alright, next, I'm gonna want... I think I said something like a Meadowlands for one. That might entail... Did you really lose your color? Oh god, did I really screw that up? I didn't say, like... Oh, you know what? That's another thing I should make, is that, baking the vertex color and everything. Oh, why am I so terrible? Alright, let me redo this. Alright, we now have desert objects with the material color set to the vertex color correctly. That looks better. Alright, we've got cacti growing through like a statue there. That's a little strange, but ooh, okay, so these bullets really should have an outline color that is not the same as their like their interior color. I should make them black or brown or something like that. Because against this background, they're definitely hard to see. Alright, do not want that, but we fixed the fix the color of cactus land objects. I also did not include the big stones that time because I think they were too big and took up too much of the screen. And for good measure, let's shrink that a little bit. Next, what kind of biome do I want to create? Next, Flowerlands are an old favorite of mine. Anyone who's been around this channel for more than about 3 seconds should probably be well aware. I've got flower objects, like flower of different colors. At least I thought I did. Did I not bring in like the ones of other colors? There's red and purple ones that Kenny of Lugels has been kind enough to provide for us. We're going to bake that transformation, we're going to bake that material color, and we are going to combine all those. And let's say I can also grab the crops, turnips, other flowers, grass objects, and oh, we need to rotate them too. Yeah, there we go. Everything from here down to, I think, some of these smaller rocks. I guess I can include the other small ones too. And these down here. And this can be Flowerlands. And this can go in there. And I think we can call that a day. The rate that I'm going, this might be the only thing I get done in this video, but I hope that's not the case. Midges, grasshoppers, beehives definitely are sort of Flowerland themed, like enemy types. Let us run the game now, and oh, before I do that, I made some like my own flower colors. Pink flower colors, white, and originally I had a few blue ones as well, but when I had to reset a bunch of stuff a minute ago, I decided not to bother with that. Like light blue colored flowers. But I think for the sake of completion, we will include some other flower colors there. That's going to be levels 4, 5, and Beehive Bonanza. The spiky things are supposed to be like bamboo grass. I feel like that's not really it doesn't really come across like that. Alright, whatever, let's get out of there. I do want to increase the density for you guys, maybe 1.25x or so. And there's also far too many rocks in here. So if I can just, like, randomly delete several of the rock designs so that the ratio of rocks to not rocks is a little bit more favorable. Alright, fewer rocks, more other things. Bamboo still, I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to look like, so I might just get rid of that, but the carrots, melons, turnips, they still look like vegetables, so we can leave them. Alright, I think this will be, yeah, that's an appropriate density of, like, foliage objects. You can divide and conquer, take you guys all down one at a time. Alright, that's nice. Should I make the background color different too? Like, maybe somewhat brighter green. 006000 instead of 40. So this is grassland, just a little darker. And this is... Oh, that just makes everything else look darker by comparison. Not sure if that's really intentional. Alright, that's fine. So that's the Flowerlands backgrounds, and I said swamps for the last one. Maybe I can put like a Flowerland and the infestation have like the final level. Oh no, the Hornet Queen is the last one, so that can be Flowerlands, and the we can go back to, we can do the swamp for 7 and 8 and also 11. That's going to be a bunch of like probably these leafy objects, maybe a handful of grassy rocks, mushrooms, maybe a handful of small gray rocks, tree stumps. There's a lot of tree stumps in here. Jesus, Kenny. And let's start with that, see how we do here. We can make a new folder, Swamplands, and save all that, and we can load in the 4th level type. And we can use that in levels 7, 8, and 11. I need a background color. Maybe... Is there like a brownish green? B38600. Should have been the smarter way to do this to begin with. How long have I been recording this for? 37 minutes. I'm gonna guess we're gonna be at about the 20-minute mark by the time I'm done. That's definitely bright. I want it less bright than that. Maybe just like a dirt color, 806000. What was that? This one? Alright, that looks... Alright, Swampland, maybe Wasteland, more so than Swampland. I feel like I want to move this first initial set of enemies back a row. I haven't played the later levels as much as the earlier levels, as you can probably imagine. There's like a set of levels that I use for testing a lot, and yeah, that old bug. I'm gonna fix that today. I'm not gonna wait, see if GameMaker does anything that makes the linked list less weird. In case I want to change something later, if our color woods equals... If I had feather enabled, which I don't currently, you would actually be able to mouse over these hex codes and see what colors they are, which is kind of a neat addition. Flowerlands and Cactus Lands, and one more for Flowerlands. Alright, so the last remaining task is going to be the set of level backgrounds for the title screen and that sort of thing. I think I can get rid of that. I think I might just let that be like... I don't know if I want that to be something else or if I want that to be like a Flowerlands sort of background theme, because that's obviously my favorite. I say that constantly. first, we can finish that. Second, we can go and look at the that. I'm gonna do something similar to like creating like a level of sorts for the title. You don't really need a name. You don't really need an ID because you won't be saved. We can create some level metadata for the title, and then we do have a room title, so I think on room start, can I like have a level that disables the wave, you know, everything? So I can say if the game state is equal to the title, else we'll actually like set up a real level. You can say, I think all I really need is that, and I might have to go into like the step event and say like this update whatever. Oh, you know what? I think I can just say scroll the background. I think that might be good. All right, that might have been less work than I thought it was going to be. We've still got like nothing great happening there. What is trying to be drawn on the title screen that we're getting draw failed due to invalid input layout? Can I make the background surface stretch to fill the entire screen? Not stretch, obviously, but just like be scaled so that when we're in the title screen, we don't have it just cutting off on the right side where the UI would normally be. That's in post draw. Can I just do this? There's also the matter of well, we're stretching. This might actually take up the entire video. I'll try and get at least a few things tacked on at the end. So that's, yeah, 1366, 768, rather, that's my window size. You should be 1-to-1. Should be being drawn 1-to-1. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. That's because the background camera, and this isn't used anywhere else weird, right? Yeah, there's only one camera apply there. You are also... Alright, so we've got the surface that's being full screen. We will have some things that are like when the level is generated. Where they are generated is going to be... I'm gonna do something I hate and use that stupid magic number again, but that's going to cause objects in the room to generate from like the actual side over there to the side over here. All right, good. And lastly, why are you not scrolling? You should be scrolling. We can move out the scroll background method call. And I wonder if scroll background doesn't care if like, oh, if not is playing return. Let's just include a little override there. We should be able to force the background to scroll anyway. No, that would be dumb. You will always scroll on the title. There we go. Still got draw failing due to invalid input layout, which is weird. I definitely feel like that 3, 2, 1 countdown needs an outline around it, which I can arrange. Boy, the fire really blends into the background too, doesn't it? But we do have the scrolling, and I think that's worthy of a commit. Background on the title screen. And also, we should be able to see, like, when we return to the title screen too. I'll show this off. I have no reason to believe that this shouldn't work. But when we return to the title screen... Are you really? Oh, God's sake. When it scrolls around... Don't you love magic numbers? If I go to, for example, the swamp, and if I go to go back to the title, we're going to be in the same room. Yeah, okay, fine. Seriously though, like honestly, there's a part of me that knows that I can get away with this draw failed due to invalid input layout just being there. Because when players are running it, they're not going to have the console open most likely unless they launch it from the command line for whatever weird reason. They're not going to see this, but I really want to find out why. What's in the title screen room? Do we just like... Is that just literally the background causing problems? I don't think so. I think the background is Oh no! Wow, okay. It really was just the background causing problems. Alright, the stupidest solution is often the correct one. I was expecting there to be like, I guess that is technically a sprite that's being drawn, but I thought the, No, I guess it would be, because that was part of the that's drawn as part of the regular draw event. I was gonna say I thought that would draw before the camera, but the camera sets everything up and draw begin and draw end and doesn't touch the regular draw event, so that's that. Alright. So I can kick this over to the completed pile. There's some other visuals I want to do, like the 3, 2, 1 countdown. That is done here. And I can say shader set SHD outline shader reset. What I do not know is the textile size of the texture that the font lives on. Is there a texture get textile height? Let me see what that's going to spit out. That's going to be 0.0. That's probably the like inverse. Can I say texture get height? And will that get the height and width of the texture page? Thank you, GameMaker. Very helpful. It just says 1. Although it did outline them correctly. There was a little bit of bleed over. Honestly, the outline looks correct as it is. I might not need to bother with that. What I'm more concerned with is why there's like bleed over. I don't think I can. Can I increase the amount of padding? What texture page is the font game huge on? It's just in the default one. I could draw the letters onto a secondary surface and then outline that instead. I really don't want to. But that might be easier than like screwing with texture padding and stuff. Alright, first things first. We're gonna say text surface is gonna be surface create. Let's make it an arbitrary size of like 160 by 160. Surface free text surface. We're gonna want to draw clear alpha c underscore black to 0 after surface set target, and then surface reset target at the end over here. And then instead of drawing it in the middle of the room, we can draw it instead in the middle of the surface, and then we can draw the surface in the middle of the room. I'm going to save our, let's say SX first. Surface X is going to be surface get width. The application surface of our SY is going to be surface get height. The application surface, and that needs to be divided by 2, and this is going to be minus surface get width. I'll say text surface width is going to be 160, text surface height is going to be 160. I don't always use magic numbers, guys. That should cause this surface to be drawn in the middle of the application surface, whatever that happens to be. And then I can set the shader. I can... Oh, it was... I said width and height, not X and Y. Even without feather, the code coloring does sometimes let you know that you typed a variable in wrong. It's a lot nicer than in Game Maker Studio 1. Was that in GMS 1? It might not have been in GMS 8. GM8. Anyway, we can say draw surface text surface at the X and the Y of SX and SY. We can reset the surface and we can draw surface without the outline. And let me just make sure that does draw the outline. Indeed, it should. Love using intermediate surfaces, eating up that GPU bandwidth like nobody's business. It is not. Why are we not? Alright. Alright, that should be drawn around about here. Is that just because the outline is being dumb? I expected to see an outline. Or I do need to set the, like... We're drawing the regular text, like usual. Actually, maybe it might make more sense to shader set uniform F. When the other places where this was used, what was that, post draw over here? Text size was the uniform name. And that's just going to be TSW and TSH. On Windows, you're generally okay if the texture size isn't the power of 2. On some other platforms, it might not be. Okay. I do see there's something happening there, and I think the reason that doesn't look like it is because the draw color the regular text is being drawn as white, and the outline is also being drawn as white. Okay. I could reverse the color of the outline. Draw failed due to invalid input layout. Now what? Do some of these levels still have the background in it? I copied and pasted them all from the template. So if the template doesn't have a background, it shouldn't. I didn't see anything missing either. Alright, I don't know what's up with that. Anyway. That's going to be our outline text. Did you see I'm setting the color to white up there, which is a little redundant. And if I do nothing else before I go, I really want to know why we're still seeing draw failed due to invalid input layout. I'm just going to create a breakpoint there that will only activate if I press a key, because I don't want it to fire constantly. And we're going to see if we can pin down exactly where that message pops out. I don't think it would be this, because the shields are no longer in the game, but this would cause that to happen, because the damage shield thing that has gone the way the extinct megafauna is being drawn as a sprite, which we don't have need for anymore. What is it? This? It was only happening when enemies took damage. Nope, that wasn't it. I do not know why it's gone now. And if I were to just like shoot one bullet at something. Alright, it's something that persists for a few frames. Like, is there like a damage number or something? Did I comment out the faux dye particle effects? Why did I do that? I don't remember doing that. When you take a hit, you do like... It's like you're spawning something, like an effect or something that... Alright, if I take a hit, it will still happen. And... if I go into players on damage, it's definitely something that happens when the player takes damage. And the only, like, visible thing of that nature is the particles. Alright, so it definitely has something to do with the particles. If I comment out the particles when the player rams their face into the enemy, it doesn't happen. And did I comment out anything else? I did uncomment this one, which I don't know why it was commented out to begin with. That's fine. Why were we drawing the mask index anyway? I thought we finished with that a long time ago. But whatever. Why do I feel like, if I have all the particles, and if I don't draw them here, where they're, you know, where they're supposed to be drawn. Does that still happen? Do I have like a second particle system anywhere that's being drawn when it shouldn't be? Alright, even if the particles aren't drawn, like this is not the culprit. Alright, my patience for dealing with this has run out. It's not something that the player should actually see, and like if I can test it and if I can prove that it's like GameMaker doing something with particles that it shouldn't be, I'll bother Yo-Yo Games about it or something. Disregarding that, let's see. Draw some things when you should and shouldn't. By the way, the die effect on enemies, since I did uncomment that. Yeah, I don't know why that was commented. I must have done that by accident. That was intentional. I do kind of like having the white text with a black outline for this countdown instead, however, so I will set this to C_white. Why am I setting your color twice? Oh, that was draw clear, not draw set color. To make the outline black, the black outline is hard-coded into the outline shader. The white outline, rather, like GL frag color equals vec4 1 final, and so on and so forth. So I can't, well, I can change that, but I don't want to. Is there any, like, color-related hacks that I could use to do that? And the time that it took to try and be clever about this and do this blend modes, I could have just edited the shader. Sometimes that's just like how things go. It's really annoying that there's a lot of ways to like almost do multiplicative blending, but that won't work correctly with alpha, and we definitely do have an outline around that text, which is what I'm looking for. What if I go into a lighter level? We have an outline around that text, which is also what I'm looking for. Okay. That took longer than I wanted it to. What is it, 037? Push that to GitHub. I'm going to cut things off here. Wanted to do a lot more of this. Did not actually, like, fit in anything besides the background stuff, because reasons. But we'll get there. Next time, I want to have everything that isn't audio done, that isn't, like, background music done. Time after that, I think that should be week 39. I would like to have the background stuff done and everything that like I'm going to be doing in the engine finished. Let's see what else is there. Any like balance things or anything like that I want to change. I want to try and figure out what that's going to be before next time, and then hopefully week 40 should just be involved in like building the game and kicking it out the door, being done with it. If it takes another week or so after that, then not the end of the world, but I'd rather that it doesn't. So, my name is Michael. I like Wizards and Dragons and making games. I forgot to do the sign-off last time. That was awkward. If you want the code for this, look for the GitHub repository down in the video description. Look for 0.37. 0.37. I think I forgot to do this on video, too. That's going to be a pre-release. They all are, right? I haven't been forgetting that checkbox. Good. Boy, this is almost done. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later. Special thanks to Army Armbuster, DJ Gibbles, Edward Holt, Game Maker, Harold Gidry, Kiexi, Syndra Larson, Squarecrow, The Oz, and Zenzerman for supporting these videos. If you want to contribute to the channel, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.